Maverick Dancer. On Labor Day 2020, Oregon witnessed some of the most devastating wildfires we've seen in recent history. Driven by extreme winds, fires burned nearly 1 million acres of public and private timberland in less than a week. The fires also destroyed homes and structures, took lives, displaced thousands of Oregonians, blanketed the state in dangerously high smoke levels, and dramatically impacted whole communities, many of which may never be the same. Across both public and private forests, the 2020 fires burned enough wood to build 1 million homes. Now that the smoke is clear, the forest sector is pivoting its focus on the future, restoration and regeneration of Oregon's forests, a feat that will likely take years and require over 100 million tree seedlings. But not all landowners are making the same decisions. We're going to introduce you to the people who work in the woods, the people who own the timber, and find out what they plan to do and why they plan to do that. We begin with a look back at history, how you can either go in and use the knowledge and the science that you have to restore a forest, or you can allow Mother Nature to take its course.
Mount St. Helens is really a way of looking at what happens at a complete ground zero start over. Nature's hit the reset button, if you will, on a forest, and you can see that active management has put a viable crop of trees and a beautiful forest in its place. I'm Eric Lease. I work for Weyerhaeuser Company. I'm the region manager for Lower Columbia. This property is the Weyerhaeuser property, and it's about 65,000 acres currently that was affected in the blast zone. The eruption occurred May 18th, 1980, about 8:30 in the morning, which was a Sunday. Post-eruption, there were really two distinct zones where there was the classic moonscape look, where all the trees were blown down, severed from the stump, and covered in gray ash. And then there was an area where the trees were killed from the heat and scorched, very similar to what it would look like after a wildfire. That encompasses the total land base for the 150,000 acres that was impacted by the eruption. The green line that you can see, the right side of it being the conifer, that's Weyerhaeuser property that was planted in 1983 after the salvage effort that took place. The line to the south is part of the National Monument, volcanic monument. That new forest that is created as a result of that creates great habitat for all the species, animal species in a typical forest, and great clean water that's coming off the hillside. It's a beautiful thing.
My name is Nick Smith. I run a program called Healthy Forests, Healthy Communities, which tries to educate folks about what's happening on our federally owned forests and the need for active forest management. It's really a choice. We could do some things using the latest forest science and technology to help these forests recover in our lifetimes, or we could choose to let Mother Nature take its course, but we have to understand that could take generations, and in some cases, the forests don't come back after large-scale disturbances, such as an eruption or a devastating wildfire.
The fires in Oregon this summer, Weyerhaeuser was heavily impacted. We had land in all four of the major fires, and right now we already have a reforestation and a recovery effort that's going on those properties, where it's less than a couple of months from the fire, and we are already planting trees. It's really important that we're doing this, and really important that we're doing it quickly, because there's a time window, and that's about 2 years. After a tree dies, the defense mechanism for that tree is obviously compromised. Bugs will start to move in. As soon as the bugs move in, the quality of the wood really goes down. If we don't actively manage it and speed up that process, it will look very similar to the differences between the blast zone, where active management yielded a beautiful forest, and in areas where there wasn't that active management, there's very little there.
People understand that we can manage our forests to ensure that we can get what we need for our society while sustaining these ecosystems for wildlife, clean water, and all these other values, and that we have the science We have the technology and we have the best forest practices in the world to be able to take care of these lands and ensure that we can sustain them for future generations.
When I drive through our property, I see a green canopy. I see wildlife. I see clean water coming off the streams. It's truly a beautiful thing.